Hey everybody, it's Angela with Ghost Hunting Beauties, and I'm your favorite ghost host here doing an unboxing video today. Now the unboxing today is going to be the Spirit Box SB11. Now this is going to be something somewhat new, but similar to the SB7 in case you're familiar. In case you're not, this is going to be a great paranormal tool to use. So let's go ahead and see what's in the box and we'll start from there. Now we ordered this from Ghost Stop, one of our favorite places to get our items. Ghost Stop is very reliable, very great with their tools, they're great with coming out with new ones as well. So normally I don't throw my paper on the floor, but we're going to toss it aside. And with every purchase, they usually give you a cute little keychain, and this one is actually different. Oh, yeah, very cool. Always love their keychains. Of course, you have the receipt and address. We don't need to show you all of that. And then, of course, they do have the directions set there, but we'll go over that with you today. All right, here we go, everybody. Are we ready? This is the SB11 with ANC. What does all that mean? Well, we're going to tell you. So let's take this little sucker out of the box first, and I'll start kind of explaining a little bit more of what it does and what people use this for in paranormal research. It's usually used by ghost hunters, people that are professionals, and even people that are just playing around. But with these prices, we're not playing around. We like to use these on our show. Actually does come with a battery. It says it doesn't, but we got a bonus today. All right, let's set this aside over here. Comes in its plastic bag. You've got the little earphones. It does come with earphones, which is also a really nice bonus as well, if you, in case, are on a little bit of a budget. And we even have the description here. So let's get everything set aside. We'll keep the box to our left over here, just in case you want to see that. We'll flip it over with all the fun buttons. Here we go. Let's take it out of the plastic. We want to have the shiny new stuff here. If you're like me, I get excited whenever I get new toys. Anything with ghost hunting. You see, you've got all these little buttons and all these things we're going to go over here. And let's go over in general what we're going to talk about with the SB11, which means what does a spirit box even do? So see if we can see this, or maybe we'll just turn around here, prop it up for you to see. So the SB11 Spirit Box is a great tool to communicate with spirits and entities. So this is going to be something that uses radio frequency and it sweeps. So when it sweeps, it generates white noise. And the theory behind this is that the white noise produces enough energy so that spirits who use energy to communicate can use this box to communicate with you. We're going to go over how all that works here in just a minute, but this kind of gives you an overall idea. So sometimes you're going to hear voices, sometimes you're going to hear sounds, you're going to hear music. We personally have used this with the Estes method, and you may have seen this on shows and different people where they sit in their chair. They are deprived with a mask on to prevent them from seeing. They have headphones on that prevent them from hearing, but they speak the words coming through the box while another person actually sits there and asks questions. We've done this on the show a couple of times with great success. Now, we've previously used the SB7 to do this, which is a smaller version, and the differences we're going to go over in just a second. But we have had great results with this. I suggest this for paranormal teams. I suggest this if you're just investigating for fun. I use this myself for my show. So whatever you want to use this for, this is going to be great. Now the SB11 is going to have some differences. This utilizes the dual channel noise adjustment and it allows you to filter the sound. Now that's kind of the difference between this and the SB7. You're going to be able to filter out some of the white noise that comes through and hear the words clearer. That's the difference with this. With the previous version, you'd have to have an ANC control box, which is something that's also offered from Ghost Stop. And that way you can kind of hear. And if you have things for speakers just to be connected to this and play, a lot of people who are watching your investigations, or if you have a team you're investigating with, you want others to hear. if you're not using the Estes method. So with the little speaker, when others are hearing, you usually hear kind of sounds like you're in a tunnel or something really loud. The ANC control allows that to go away, so that if you do have this on an external speaker, you can be heard with more clear words. Just gives a little bit oomph, a little bit extra, kind of a big perk with this. So let's go over. This has like I said, eliminates the sweeping sound. This has the control with the sweep rate, of course. You're going to have the AM, FM controls here as well. You also have the temperature, which gauges if the temp suddenly goes up, temperature drops. It has a loud audible sound that's going to come with that as well. So if you're ready, let's go over some of the main features from top to bottom. So one of the main features you're going to see is the single sweep rate, and you're going to see the dual simultaneous sweep rates. Now what this does is that you can have multiple coming through at the same time, which is also helpful if you want to try to get more or use more energy for spirits to communicate. You've got the temperature alert with the audible tone, which we went over. Now this is going to give the loud beep, very loud, that, you know, some people find that kind of annoying. Some people find it helpful. Investigations, a lot of times, especially if you're doing something that's a big open space and you suddenly get a temperature drop and you know they don't have air conditioning or it's an outdoor area, that when the temperature changes, this alerts you to that when it's sudden. So that way you know that generally when there's a paranormal entity or some sort of being or something around you, it's going to drop or increase. Now this way, this kind of lets you know something's near and you get ready to start hearing the words or the sounds that are going to come through. So if we can still see this here. It also has a high intensity red LED flashlight. So if you can see the flashlight here. Very cool flashlight. That's something that could be also very useful on investigations as well. I mean, the perks with this go on and on. You've got adjustable antenna. Let's go over the antenna here. So of course, everybody knows what antennas are for. Some of the younger generation, maybe not. But with the antenna here, when you're picking up frequencies, picking up different things, if you are especially in a place where there's bad reception, the adjustable antenna can help you to get more entities, more activity, and capture things that might be a little more difficult. I know a lot of people have investigated places with, you know, tin roofs, or you have a place where you're in the basement somewhere. That could be helpful as well. Not 100% guaranteed to pick up, you know, quite a bit more, but it is helpful. So you also have the dual simultaneous inputs here. So you've got your channel 1 and channel 2. So this can be useful if you have multiple people listening in, or if you want to have someone who can listen in with headphones and maybe a speaker at the same time. Very useful for that as well. You've got the forward and reverse sweep. This is something that's very useful. The forward and reverse sweep, you can sit there and go backwards. What we've previously done before has been the forward sweep. We haven't used that yet, but might be something useful as well. You also have the AM, FM selectability here. That way you can have different channels, different places you're picking up on. I mean, all of these things are really helpful. Different things you're going through. This definitely has a lot more perks. It's something we would love to use. So we're going to start with how to use it in just a moment. All right, step 1. We've already unboxed it. We've already taken it out. We've already taken the plastic off. We've got the headphones here. These are your standard headphones going inside the ear. I suggest when doing investigations, especially when you're going out somewhere where there could be a lot of distractions, I suggest something with noise cancellation. That's one thing that you want to spend a little bit of money on is headphones. Especially if you're reviewing things or going live, you'll want to have something to where you can very, very clearly hear and communicate if you're doing something like the Estes method or something where you want to present the data. So we've got these headphones we're going to go ahead and set aside because you won't be able to hear what I'm hearing. This is going to take a 9-volt battery. I suggest something that's industrial. If anybody has ever been on an investigation before, you will know that spirits like to definitely drain batteries. So we're going to hook this up here. And then that way we can kind of get started. Sticking it back in there. There is the batteries where we're sticking it in. get these wires to where they're not in the way. That's not always easy there. So we haven't used this on an investigation yet, but this is going to be something we'd like to use in the future. You can also see you have an attachment here where you can kind of mount it or do different things with it as well. You see the noise filters are located on the back. So you have the noise filters you can use at whatever level. Some people, they like to hear the static coming through, but I mean, preferably I would not. So we've got it there. You can turn the light on and off. You've got your switches on the side. We're going to turn it on from here first, and then we're going to turn on, let's see if we can get the light going. There's the light. There we go. We had to turn on the power on button on the front first before it actually can use the functionality for the light on the side. We are not in the dark, so we're not going to turn that on for now. Let's put this baby back on. Get it going. Alrighty. My suggestion is doing this here. All right, now according to Ghost Stop, this has already been calibrated, which is really beneficial. I mean, who else puts so much into their equipment? I mean, I haven't seen anything like that, but then again, I'm new to all this. So it's been calibrated to a specific volume level for your best audio results. So everybody has different session preferences. You can also adjust accordingly there. We've got it on currently right now. We do not have it sweeping yet, but just in case you kind of want to see what it does, we're going to go ahead and make an attempt here and go ahead and get it going. We may not get any activity. Remember, this is just us turning it on here. We can get it on AM, we can get it on FM, or you can do the AM, FM with the antenna. You have different little functions here on the side. You can do the temperature. And I think we'll go ahead and get started. As you see, you got the AM, FM flashing here, and you got the sweep rate going. One thing I like about this that's different than the other as well is we have a little adjustable things in the back here where you can take it out and you can prop it up. So a lot of times when you're on investigations, see, I could have been doing this the whole video, propping it up here. So you got it propped up. You've got it sweeping currently. You can adjust the volume, different things here. You can have lower sound, and the lower sound is going to have a lower filter setting. Now, if you increase the SB11 volume 1 to 2 clicks, you need to press the ANC up and down arrow. So you've got the ANC up and down area. We're going to turn up the volume here. So see, when you turn the volume up, you're going to hear more of the static. So then that's when you start needing to do the noise filter control on the back. So that kind of gives you an example there. So we are going to turn the noise filter up as we turn up the volume. So you still hear some of the static, but it's not anything like it is before. So noise filter up on what channel we're using. Notice the difference, a lot more quiet. So of course, we're not in the middle of an investigation. Doesn't mean we're not going to get something coming through here, but this is just kind of give you an example of how it works. On an investigation, you're going to be possibly hearing words, depending on if there's entities, depending on if there's spirit communication. This is all just kind of, oh, see, did you hear it? Something coming through. Does that mean it's paranormal? We don't know. This is what you do your investigations for. So now you kind of get an idea. You're not hearing tons of the sweeping static. It's still sweeping. You're still getting the indication that it's doing the sweeping and it's doing its job, but you're not hearing so much of the if anybody have ever seen the SB7 or used that before, you hear constant That's the difference in this as well. So now what you're going to want to do is adjust the sweep rate. The sweep rate button is going to be located here. Now the sweep rate is going to go faster or slower depending on what you want to do here, depending on what kind of activity you want to capture. I personally like to keep it a little bit lower because if something comes through, I want to hear it a little bit more clear. It takes me a little bit. For the temperature settings, you have the button here. You can either option to use the light or you can use the temperature. We can pull it down to the temperature. I know you couldn't see that. I did that. We'll do it one more time here. Wipe it off. And then temperature. See it? Red light blinking there. Kind of went over what the temperature set is for anyways. Now we have the temperature setting on as well. Tell me this isn't handy here. You've already got something that props it up. You've got the antenna. You've got the ANC control that's already built in. Tell me how useful that is. And like I said, if you can't remember, the ANC control is to kind of keep down some of the loud noise, but you're still going to hear things. Is that making sense? So far you've heard. And there goes the sound for the temperature sensor. So that means there was a drop in the temperature while it was sitting here. Now, we're filming this in our studio, so we've turned off the air conditioner, so it's probably telling us it's getting a little hot. Which, yeah, you can always feel that when that's happening. Oh, it's not just because the flashes of life here, but there we go. So these are the kind of noises you're going to hear with the SB11 here. That is the temperature setting. Now you can see how some people that might be irritating, or maybe they don't use temperature sense as a guide for paranormal activity. Some people, they feel this is an example of paranormal activity, and some people feel like it's not an example. Everybody's different with their opinions. For me, it drives me crazy. On our last investigation, we had issues with that. So we are going to take the temperature sense on the side and turn it off. But now you see how that works and you know what to hear. So if you're hearing, there you go. Are you kind of getting an example of what this sounds like? Pretty cool. So we're going to go ahead and turn this off. And we're still learning this ourselves. The off button is located in the front here. We turned off the AM, FM. We're turning this off. And I'll still prop it up so you can take a look here. Now with this, you can also have presets. But one thing is when you do the channel up or channel down, that's going to make it reset for you. So you're going to want to be able to make sure you have these presets already ready for you and ready to go. All right, so you've seen what the SB11 does. Now, I've given you kind of a little bit of rundown of the comparison between the SB7, SB11. Like I said, the ANC noise control is so beneficial. Having the temperature sensors and being able to turn that off and on is really handy as well. You've got your external antenna. You've got the sweep rates that are adjustable, presets. You've got everything kind of in a handy little package. Like I said, I'm a sucker for the conveniences in life. So just having the little this in the back, to me, makes it all worth it. Because if you're ever sitting down with your stuff and trying to get ready for investigation, you want to be able to have everything as smooth and convenient as possible. And trying to prop up your gear and find different things to sit it on is not always easy. So flashlights with the little red light coming up on the side as well, like we pointed out here. I mean, just on and on and on. Ghost Stop has put a lot of work into their gear and a lot of work into the SB11. Do I think this is worth the buy? Absolutely. Have we used it on an investigation yet? Nope, because today was our unboxing. Now, we will be using this in the future with the Estes method. We already went over that earlier for you. I will be using this for investigations and everything that we do, and possibly feature this on the show for season 2. So really excited for everybody to check this out for yourself. We've got mixed reviews online with different people who have different experiences. Once we actually use this and put it to work, we're going to give a review for the equipment for itself. And this has been Angela here. If you have any experience with the SB11 or any tips or any tricks, please post them in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe so that more people who are interested in gear and want to learn more can do so as well. So until the next time you come in, until our next unboxing, our next podcast, or our next show, this has been Angela with Ghost Hunting Beauties.